and I was thinking about what are the key words. So this is one of them, staying alert. Really important that you do this with your team. So staying alert to the people and the environment that you work in. The environment you're creating and the environment is being created. Okay, here's a great story. You've all heard this one before, haven't you? So we're working at Thames Water. We're on the ground floor. We're in amongst a whole load of different people in that office. Not all 820 people, some Thames Water people as well. So I haven't got influence over everybody. We've got a small part of it, but we're on this big ground floor. There's about 50 people, maybe more, maybe 100 people in this wing. And we've got a kitchen at the end, and you know what's happening in the kitchen, don't you? The pots aren't getting washed. And we've got a sign on the wall. We've got a sign. This kitchen does not clean itself. Please wash your cups up. Not working. So what we did was I decided to have a general announcement. So I stood up on my 2 legs and I stood up in the office and said, excuse me, can everybody stop working? Well, I thought there was going to be a riot. You know, people, what is this lunatic talking about? Well, he's Scouser down here talking to us. And he wants us all to stop working and talking. He works straight up. We work for Thames Water over here. We've got nothing to do with him. So we created this environment called Ground Floor East, which is where we were all sitting. So I said, we are going to be the best wing in this building. So there's ground floor west, there's first floor west, it goes on and on. But ground floor east are going to be the best. And we are not going to tolerate having cups and saucers in that sink dirty, are we? I was going, no, we're not going to tolerate that, Graham, you're dead right. And we're all going to make sure it all happens. Yeah, we're all going to make sure it all happens. Okay, so I'll stand up every month and I'll talk to you about what's happening in our world. And you can perhaps come back and tell me what's happening in your world. And maybe we can create an environment. And this lady over here called Amanda is the lady that washes all the pots up. So Amanda's going to score us on our ability to wash the pots up. So a couple of weeks goes by, month 1 goes by, we get to the thing, and Amanda, how are we doing on pot washing? 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Look, we're not giving up. Amanda scored us 3, we want to get to 10, don't we? We all want to get to 10. And by creating that environment and personalizing it to Amanda, the one lady in the office that had the problem of washing all the pots up that we were being dirty and filthy about leaving, we got to 10 out of 10. So we got there. We don't talk about it now, the pots get washed. So we created an environment. We created it by tying it to, we made it human. We put a person in there and said, look, this is the person that's receiving the consequence of us not washing our pots. And it made a difference. So strengths and weaknesses. Watch out for your strengths and weaknesses. Massively play on your strengths. If you're a great communicator, communicate. If you like doing that, do it. Absolutely do. Lean on all your strengths, but watch out for your weaknesses. Your weaknesses, we need strategies for weaknesses. We need to make sure that we understand where they are. And for me, we want to watch out for the real bad ones, which are our blind spots. And my blind spot is commercial and numbers. So I love all this stuff. So if I'm down in the office, you know, jump up, say a few words, get the pots cleaned. I love all that. But when it comes to, you know, oh, I've got the FD report done, etc., etc., I know it's important, and I really enjoy looking at the data at the end, but I don't want to be involved in the creation of it. So I need somebody in there who wants to do that. And we fell foul of that in my first go at being a leader down at 4D. I got an FD, said, right, on you go. And I thought, well, this is how you be a leader. What you do is you delegate to someone who you can trust, and then you get out the way and let him get on with it. Big mistake. Big mistake. You mustn't do that as a leader. Absolutely, delegation is absolutely a tool you should and can use. But you must also stay in control. You must also be aware. You must go and talk to them. You must go and look at the numbers. You must show some interest. You don't have to get involved with producing them, but you need to understand them. You need to be part of the machine. So understand that situational leadership piece where you need to be directional, where you need to be supporting, where you need to be coaching, and where you need to be delegating. And get that right. That's really important that you get that right. Because you get the best out of your staff. Sometimes they want you all over them to tell them what direction you want to go in. And right now at Thames, that's exactly where a lot of them expect me to be. How are we going to do this, Graham? What do you think about that? And I often play it back, well, what do you think? But sometimes when there's a void and there's no answers, they expect me to come up with something. And I'm pleased to do that, and that's how we make some progress. So use your intuition. Just make sure when you're in that room and you're in that meeting that you've spotted that somebody's switched off. In your teams, you'll be spouting on about something will be happening, and someone will have switched off. You can see it. If you spend some time, if you're scanning the room and watching the body language, you'll see that this switched off. Do not allow that to happen. Do not go past that event and pretend it hasn't happened. You need to make sure you make contact and say, stop a minute, John, you're not with us, are you, John? You're not with us. What's the problem? And I think the final area that I wanted to talk about was emotional stability. Again, what do you want your boss to be? Do you want him to be ranting and raving? Do you want him to be happy one minute, sad the next minute? Do you want him to be out of control and changing his ideas? No, you want him to be stable. You want him to be emotionally stable. You want him to be able to stay calm. So when you come in with that piece of bad news, you need your leader to be calm. Okay, let's listen. Let's have a look at the facts. Let's find out what's happened. Let's see what we can do and how we can take this forward. So that's really important that you can stay calm. In a nutshell, it's all about staying alert. It's being alert to the environment you're in. It's about being alert to the behaviors of the people that are around you. It's about showing some intuition, looking and asking those extra questions, watching out for the behavior of your people. And really importantly, it's about you being emotionally stable and making sure that you stay calm under all kinds of pressure. Stay calm, especially when delivering feedback, and stay calm when you're at the front leading the organization. It's really important to do that. So I think that all the stuff that we talk about when we talk about behavioral management, we can talk about it being staying alert, intuition, etc., but it's all about interaction, isn't it? It's all about how you are interacting with your staff, with your customers, and with your stakeholders. Every single interaction you have creates and sets and drives that environment, which then allows the environment to be set to get the behaviors that you want. So always think about the interactions you're having. I'm interacting now. You're always interacting. That's what behavior is all about. It's the things you do and the things you say. So just be mindful about those throwaway comments. The one that drives me mad is when somebody says, I'm going on holiday next week, and somebody says, are you on holiday again? It's just like cancer. It just undermines the business. I absolutely stamp on that. If somebody says that in my earshot, I'll say, excuse me, can we have that again? You're on holiday next week. How many weeks holiday did you get? 5 weeks holiday. Is that all? Is that all you get for all the effort you put into this business and you're working long hours and I've seen you in it at the weekend? You only get 5 weeks? Enjoy your holiday. How much better is that conversation? What about the one was, you're going home a bit early tonight, aren't you? Yeah, we're all joking, aren't we? We're joking. But it's like cancer. So you've no idea that that person came in at 4 o'clock in the morning when you say, are you going home a bit early tonight? It is just, don't allow those throwaway comments to get into the business. They will undermine the business. Change the environment, change the things you say. It really will make a difference, and people will respond and will respect you. Thank you.